This is the agenda that I'd like to cover, right? So what is financial reporting? I mean, I was almost expecting more people because I think this is a topic that's of interest to everybody. Then we'll talk about your financial reporting process, right? What are you doing today, right? What are some of your pains? And talk about, what's really like components of financial reporting, right? We may have a very focused view, but I'd like to expand your horizon a little bit. And really, we're going to be talking about options available to Sage 300. Financial reporting, right? It's a critical component of any of your business, okay? And, why do we want good financial reporting, right? Because it helps you in making critical decisions to run your business. And these are the 6 elements of good financial reporting. It needs to be relevant. It needs to be faithfully represented. And it has to be comparable, right? We often run comparable financials. It needs to be verifiable. It needs to be timely. And it needs to be understandable. And those are the 6 components of a good financial reporting, or financial reporting need, But let's look at some of the options, right? And before I go there, I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to do a quick survey. I was trying to get you guys to stand up, but I'll be happy with a raised hand. How many of you think financial reporting is very critical to your business? You should be all putting your hands up. Okay. Don't put it down, keep it up. How many of you are using any sort of solution that works with Sage 300 currently? Okay. Some of your hands are down. How many of you are happy or 100% happy with that solution today? Okay. So as you can see, right, despite the fact that we all need financial reporting, many of us do it differently. And even if we do have a solution that works with Sage 300, and I'm probably going to share with you a solution that you're using, right, but hopefully to provide you with a little bit more insight to that. And why is my first box empty? Okay, we'll get to that. Sage 300 Financial Reporter. Anybody using that today? Okay. Sage Intelligence. Any of us using that today? Okay. Sage Enterprise Intelligence. With a show of hands. Now I'm a little bit scared because there's a lot of hands that didn't go up. Okay, so financial reporting, what is it all about? Whoops. Now, I put Excel first, but these are not in really any sort of chronological order. It's just that the feedback from our customer. I put Excel there first is because whether you do it manually, whether you do it through Sage 300 Financial Reporter, whether you do it through any of the solutions, I think as finance professionals, you're probably much more comfortable with using Excel as a platform, right? And then we go from there, okay? Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? It's up for interpretation. Templates. There's nothing worse than buying a solution and you have to start from the ground up. The years of putting statements together, whether manually or whether through another system, if you were to embark on another solution implementation, right, you want to make sure at least that solution have out-of-the-box financial statements for you to review, but more importantly, probably for you to update to what your business need. Account groups, this is Sage 300 thing. With show of hands, how many of us are using account groups today? Okay. That's quite encouraging. For the hands that didn't go up, go back, explore this because it will absolutely help you with your financial reporting. Dynamic account ranges, right? When you prepare statements, you have summarized statements, you have detailed statements, you have lead sheets, okay? So having a function that will allow you to expand and the details, for example, of your revenue, right, or your cost of sales, right? That's a pretty neat little feature. And dynamic tabs. How many of us are not-for-profit? You have cost centers, you have programs, right? What is one variation of reports that you like to see? A P&L by cost center, but your cost center, all of your cost center as an individual tab. Okay? So this is a nice feature to have. Multiple tabs. So what do I mean by that? Do you ever only run P&L, balance sheet, or cash flow? You typically run them together. But for some of you, you're probably running the report one at a time today. So wouldn't it be nice if you could have a collection of reports that you run together? Anybody need consolidation? Okay. What are you doing today? You print the report from each of the company today, most likely, right? And what does that do? It takes a lot of time. Oops, too quick. Well, I can't go back. Okay, multiple data sources. Imagine, is Sage 300 your only solution? For a lot of our not-for-profit clients, you have statistical databases that you may like to leverage. So having the ability to connect to multiple data sources so you can use the information together, it's a nice feature to have. Okay? So I apologize, I'm going to jump through. Reporting tree. How many of you need to group your departments, your cost centers together, right, when you report? I think that's a given. But are your cost centers and departments all created in sequence? No. So what do? You have to report 1, 7, and 15. Difficult, right? Reporting tree allows you to create the reporting group that you need. So regardless whether it's non-sequential, right, segment values, but more importantly, if you have a budget manager, do you want to create a segment in your Sage 300 GL for that budget manager? So think about being able to create levels of reporting hierarchy in the reporting solution so you don't have to alter your Sage 300. Distribution, right? Now I think we're moving towards the nice to haves, right? Being able to schedule and email reports, right? I think that's awesome, okay, after you're able to produce your financials in a timely manner. Dashboards and data visualization, right? For the most of us, right now our financial reporting is basically very straightforward, properly formatted financials, and effectively that's it. And perhaps some detailed schedules supporting that. But it would be awesome to be able to have dashboards, KPIs, to go along with that. I'm not very used to this because I keep on going to and this doesn't work anymore. Data warehouse. Now we're getting a little bit fancier, right? So having larger volume of information, having information from multiple data sources, right? It will be really, really nice to consolidate all of that information for reporting purposes so we don't strain your Sage 300 database, right? So every time you run the report, we don't necessarily want to call to the database, grab the information, and report. If we have a data warehouse, all of that information will be available from a reporting perspective. Budgeting. Ever think about having a solution that you could do financials and budgeting together? Right? So right now in Sage 300, you have to do it separately. Okay? Sage Intelligence, we probably can't do it. Right? So budgeting is a nice to have component. Having access to be on the web, having access to be on the cloud. So you came here to look at financial reporting, but I've just introduced you all of these elements. Now, are they critical for the base reporting? Absolutely not. But once you master the necessary base, then these are the areas that you would likely want to explore. Okay? So, blanks, okay? Oh, so let's just go through here. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I have 4 boxes, and this was one of them. Can someone maybe just take a guess? Why would I have a blank? What kind of solution would that be? Okay. Now, I apologize. I shared this probably every year since 2018. Okay, but can someone tell me what this is? Perfect. Do you export out your trial balance? And it doesn't look very nice, so do you have to format it in Excel to make it legible? You could just keep on going. And then You would use the, not fancy formulas, but Excel formulas, sum is, VLOOKUP, index, matching index, pivot tables. All to do what? All to cross your fingers so that your month-end financial, and pray that your monthly financial is good. Right? Now, how much time is available for you to analyze that information? Right? Everybody here probably have a different month-end cutoff. 3 days, 5 days, 15 days, 15 days of the next month, right? And I'm not joking because these are all practical times that clients have provided. And you don't have to put your hands up, but how many of us are doing this today? Okay. All right, that's good. So let's move on. Sage 300 Financial Reporter. How many of us are on that? Okay. So it's simple. It's built in right within Sage 300. Now, hopefully you're aware that these are out-of-the-box report that you could run, right? Templates. Okay? Because we found that a client learn better and they will do better if they have examples to follow. If there's a P&L, if there's a balance sheet, and we provide education, they will pick this up very, very quickly. I talked about account groups. Again, how many knows that the account groups you could customize? No, right? So imagine that not only can you use custom account groups, but you could create your own. Why would you want to do that? Do you not work with your external accountants and auditors? What is the things that they always provide you? Lease sheets, lease sheets. Well, what are those? Those are account groups. So why reinvent the wheel? For those of you who are using Sage 300, you know this. This is the specification. Sage 300 is an Excel add-in that is spec-based. So we have a specification section that you will create the design, and then you run it. Okay? It's not difficult at all. Okay? It runs as an Excel added FR, right? And it has way too many functionalities. So if you're saying, geez, I can't do my financials, well, you're absolutely wrong because they provide you with so many formulas that till this day, you probably see more than 25, 30 formulas here. Of all of the options available or formulas available, I've only ever probably used less than 15 for any type of financial reporting. Okay? And then you're able to run the statements. This is built inside of Excel, right? You could pick and choose your segment values. You could report consolidated or separate, but what does that mean? We talked about the ability to create a P&L. This is the organization P&L, followed by your retail department, followed by your commercial department, all as individual tabs, right? For the not-for-profits, if you're not doing this, you should. Because then you have one specification that you're able to leverage. The formats will never change. You don't have to create a different version for different cost centers. And as you can see, this is the byproduct, right? Because it creates the multiple tabs at the bottom. Again, this is just 3 reports out of the box. P&L, balance sheet, and performance. Okay? And a couple more. So one thing that you probably noticed, right, this is pretty straightforward. It's all Excel-based. It can leverage account ranges, account groups, right? And, you know, we could do so much with this. So if today you're one of those that are preparing your statements manually by extracting trial balances, that's absolutely fine. But you have something sitting with your Sage 300 for 40 years that you really, really should start exploring. Just give it a shot, right? Because it's part of Sage 300 GL. There's absolutely no cost to you. It's 100% Excel-based. It has sample reports. It works with account groups. This, by far, is the best dynamic account ranges of all of the solutions I'm going to show you today. So if you're not for profit, Think about this, right? Dynamic tabs. Oh, sorry, dynamic tabs is what I'm mentioning. Dynamic account range is awesome too. However, this is GL only. But we're talking about financial reporting. And this is single report. So and single entity also, sorry, right? I showed you all the different components, but Sage 300, well, obviously the manual one gives you nothing. Sage 300 provides you with the basics. But what we've been told, or what I've been told time and time again, I don't need anything fancy. I just need to be able to run financial statements so I don't have to extract trial balances over and over again. And they're just one company. Imagine you have 11 companies. That's whatever time you spend times 11. Okay? So going from that, oh my God, right? Hopefully, we put a smile on your face, even just with Sage 300. This is what you have today. Okay? Show of hands, Sage Intelligence. Okay? I guess, quickly, anybody have any thoughts they'd like to share about Sage Intelligence? Now, have you used Financial Reporter before going to Sage Intelligence? Okay? Because that's often what we find is that you go from manual, then you explore Sage 300 FR. And you say, oh, wow, this is pretty neat. Then perhaps you need a little bit more, then you explore Sage Intelligence. It is a heck of a lot easier. We don't really need to deal much of selling, explaining, right? Once you use the solution, you understand the underlying capability, and then you look at the next solution that's able to take over that hump. It's an easy decision for you to make. It is inside of it, Sage 300 as well. Okay? Now, licensing is slightly different, but it has security. One of the challenges that you might have with FR is everybody gets to see everything. With Sage Intelligence, we have Report Manager, then you could create users, identify their roles, and put in whatever report that they have access to. It has out-of-the-box financials. Sorry, James, I'll be the first to tell you that this is for demonstration purpose. None of you will ever submit that to the bank, right? But it demonstrates all of the capability of Sage Intelligence. Now, I know it's very difficult to see, but this doesn't look all that different than the financial that we just looked at, but this is designed using Sage Intelligence. Okay? And now, we looked at the overwhelming number of formulas available through Financial Reporter. There's only 12 for Sage Intelligence. And really, only 5 are relevant for producing financial information. So all of you sitting here can absolutely learn this and be excellent at it. Okay? And it's just like an Excel add-in. One formula for balance sheet, that's it. You could do comparative, you could do year over year, month over month, right? And 4 formulas if you want to do budget. If no, 2 formulas for P&L. Okay. Dynamic account ranges, we also have this. So if you want to supplement your summary information or high-level financials with detailed analysis or pivot table, or not pivot tables, with expanding account list, we have the solution for that in Sage Intelligence. Most of us probably work with Caseware, correct? Right? So this is almost like a mock-up of Caseware lead sheets using Sage Intelligence. You identify the group, you identify the account, poof, right? It will generate. What's the benefit of this? Tomorrow you go and add a whole bunch of revenue accounts. You don't need to worry about it whether it's going to show up on the report. I use this example to generate a lead sheet, but you could build this into your core financial statements. Okay? Now, you could say, yeah, James, I could do all of that with FR, but now we're starting to differentiate. Okay? Oh my God, I think I'm running out of time. What is this? This is multiple companies. So for those of you that have multiple companies, you can now add 1, 2, 3. This is not consolidation. I got yelled at by a client because I didn't explain clearly. This is combination. I'm combining your databases together. I am not doing elimination entries. I am not doing intercompany adjustments. But at least now we have the capability through Sage Intelligence to combine databases together. What about this? Multi-tabs, right? We produce balance sheet, P&L, income statement. Now, if you want to put a little hyperlink to those reports, you can now make this interactive. What can you not do manually or through FR? You generate a report, is done. With Sage Intelligence, you generate a report, you take 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of information, you could toggle that, you could change the month, you could change the year, and the report will reflect accordingly, okay? Reporting tree. We could build. We have lots of customers who's got budget managers. Budget managers responsible for different cost centers. But the budget manager is not a GL segment. So you create the report hierarchy in the Sage Intelligence, having that level of budget manager, put the cost center within that budget manager, right? Then it no longer needs to be sequential. But what's better, right? Kim, a superstar, right? We both were given 5 cost centers each. I can't hack it. So my boss said, you know what? I'm going to take 4 of your cost center and give it to Kim for reporting. Imagine if you had to do that only inside the GL, that means you have to reorg your chart of accounts. With reporting tree, you just drag my 4 under her branch, your reporting is done. Distribution, right? Now, again, financials is one of those things you might want to think about, right? But you might want to email it to yourself. Set it up, whether email to, whether it's an email, whether it's to a shared folder, whether it's using your Outlook or SMTP, right? This is all available in Sage Intelligence today, okay? Now, quick plug. Right? Sales reporting. Financial reporter only deals with GL. Sage Intelligence deals with everything. And Sales Master, please, if you have order entry, you got to take a look at this, okay? Dashboards. Right? Now, this is a little misleading because this dashboard is created inside of Excel. So we provide you with the information through Sage Intelligence. With your knowledge of pivot charts, pivot tables, you could absolutely create as many dashboards as you like. And that's not only it, okay? Sage Intelligence Report Utility. Write that down, okay? If you're not getting any, if you like additional information, Sage Intelligence Report Utility will give you all of that. All of these additional reports that you could download. My advice is, don't download everything. If you don't have PJC, it's not going to show up. You're going to get frustrated. So recap, Sage Intelligence is part of Sage 300. It does come with a licensing configuration. It has abundance of sample reports, absolutely Excel-based, dynamic account ranges available, GL plus all other modules, multiple tabs and reports, multiple entities, multiple data sources. I haven't even gotten to that yet. Formulas, reporting tree, distribution, security, data visualization. As you can see, we're expanding, right? We move away from the core, the base, right? You might say, you know what, James, this is all fancy stuff, I don't need it. Fantastic. But now you know the capability and the availability, so when you're done with FR, you know that there's perhaps something that you can move to. A little bit more happier. Okay, so the third option is Sage Enterprise Intelligence. I'm not going to do it justice, but Olivia and her team is here. I absolutely encourage you to go visit her, right? What is the first thing that jumped out to you? This is not Excel, right? So SCI has I used to call it dual interface, but it now actually has multi-interface. Distribution, web on the left, Excel on the right. Okay, this is data extraction. Multiple data sources. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. You could create as many as you want. I created a console pulling two companies together, right? Then you can pick and choose as you do reporting on the browser. Reporting tree. Now, one thing you need to know, right? I did this on purpose, okay? Solutions may have similar functionalities, but it doesn't mean they're the same, right? Okay? This is Excel. Okay? So we saw web interface. We saw Excel interface with multiple tabs, dashboards. Fantastic. Right? So I'm just going to skip through all of these. If anybody ever, can you do reporting by date in Sage 300? What is Sage 300 based on? Fiscal period. So some organizations, for whatever reason, they like to do financial for a specific day. Can you do it? The answer is no, not in Sage, not in Financial Reporter, not in Sage Intelligence, but yes in SEI. Okay? SI has one little add-in tab at the top. SEI has all of the rest. Okay? So in terms of functionality, it's far supersedes Sage Intelligence. This is the web interface. This is the leveling. I wouldn't call it a drill down, but it wouldn't be really nice if you start off company, fiscal period, account, and the detailed transactions built in right within your browser interface? But that's just for analysis. They actually have web financial reporting. Okay? So this is specifically that you're able to create using the web interface to create financial statement. Very structured. For those of you that are going to see Intacct a little bit later, this is similar to that, right? People prefer Excel. Why? Flexibility. I could put a cell anywhere. I could put a formula there, and I'm done. What is a common challenge? And this is told to me today by a customer. They're using Intacct, but the reporting is very structured. They don't have that flexibility. Okay? So again, these are all available reports out of the solution. P&L, balance sheet, and cash flow, dashboards. This is not done in Excel. This is done through a dashboard utility within Sage Enterprise Intelligence. Okay, we could have charts and graphs. We could have gauges, right? We could have filters to dynamically move the information. CFO. Upper management don't really want to see rows and rows of information. They want to see whether it's trending up. How's our the KPI that's showing us going up, or showing us going down? These are all out-of-the-box KPI that's available through Sage Enterprise Intelligence. Okay, with dynamic filters, you could add those by year, by segment value, right? By sales rep or whatnot if you want. I'm almost done. They've just introduced, right? We're likely never going to get away from Excel. So they understood that. They took Excel and put it on the web, or Excel-like experience. So think about it. We have web interface, we have true Excel interface, and now we have what we call the web workbook. Excel-like experience on the web using SEI. So you now actually don't need to install Excel add-ins. You could work with this right inside of SEI. Okay? Now, the other report should look very familiar if you're familiar with Sage Intelligence, but I'll leave that till a little bit later. Web workbook. 3 different ways to create financials with the formula editor. Okay? So I'm just going to quickly finish that. Now, this is the capability of their ETL. So if you want to combine the information, if you want to pull additional data sources, it's all here. You can connect to many different type of solutions. This is the distribution and budgeting. Imagine having the ability to provide this to your budget managers for them to enter the information and having the ability to feed that back into Sage 300. This doesn't replace a full-blown budgeting solution, but again, right, everything is about context. What do you need? You need to be able to enter, share, push it back, report. This will do that. And this is Nectari Cloud. If you don't have the infrastructure, if you want to have the information, at least for reporting on the cloud, we could absolutely do that. Just do a little bit connector and push it up. I know I'm running out of time. Modular licensing, sample reports, multiple interfaces, right? All of these are available until we get down to here, data warehouse, real-time reporting. If you connect to the databases directly, you click on refresh, the journal entry you did 2 minutes ago will be updated. Okay? ETL, budgeting and planning, cloud option, reporting by date. Everything. Okay? I'm not here to sell you any of the solution, but I'm hoping that at least now, for those of you, regardless what solution you're currently using, right, you understand what's available. Okay? And if you now believe there's something that your system's not currently giving you, hopefully by looking at by going through this session, you now have a better understanding of these three solutions, which one is more suitable for you. These by far are not the only three solutions, but these are Sage branded solutions. And this is a comparative chart, right? Okay. So for those of you that's here, I commend you because you're true troopers. Month after month, we do this over and over again, right? But it wouldn't be nice to just get that little bit of help through Sage 300 Financial Reporter at no additional cost. And perhaps if you want a little more interactivity, multi-tab capability, or multiple databases, this is something you definitely need to consider. But if you all want all the bells and whistles, right, Sage Enterprise Intelligence by Nectari is absolutely something to consider. Okay? Obviously, this will be shared to you. For those of you using Financial Reporter, right, there's 100 and probably 70 or 60 pages manual, right? But if you could have a 24-page manual that outlines the only critical formulas that you would need to get you started, right? There's a link for that. 24 pages, okay? It's only available, you might say, James, I don't see it, because it's only available up to 2012. The manual is, okay? So I encourage you, if you're on FR, definitely use that. Sage Intelligence is an online, right, help. Okay, there's a link for that. Sage Enterprise Intelligence provides you a world of information. Okay, documentation is very strong. Okay, I didn't even talk about UDMs, but come see me, hopefully, or come see Olivia. Okay, because she's got a 3:30 session in the classic room. I purposely left out something very, very, very important. One of the considerations always to say, James, I spent years developing my statements. Right now, you want me to move to the next level, but I have to redo all of them. Okay? If you on Sage Intelligence, you absolutely have to go see Olivia's session at 3:30. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. I don't have time for any questions, but come see me. I'm right outside the classic room. Okay, and thank you so much for your time.